Hey everybody, welcome to Baker 2.0, where I'm on a journey to lose 150 pounds. Now, this video is titled Why I'm Fat. I'm not 100% sure how I've let myself get to this weight. The reason I'm fat, if you want to leave this video now, I overeat, I don't exercise. That's pretty much it. Everybody knows how to lose weight. Less calories in than you burn. The reason I'm fat is because I don't do that. Well, why I don't do that, not too sure. But I'm basically going to go through a little journey here of some photos of my youth, kind of talk about my experiences being fat up until now, and kind of where we're looking going forward. So I borrowed, for this video, a hard drive that my mom had a bunch of photos and videos from me as a kid through teen years. I don't have any of those photos. I don't have really any photos of me now. I do not like what I look like, so why would I have, copies of that to look back on? So yeah, not a lot of photos of me, but I looked through these photos, and they're on a monitor here, so if I look to the side, I apologize. But while I was looking through these photos prior to recording this, I had an experience I did not expect. And I am not too proud to say I broke down. I broke down hard, cried for a while, and really just, I don't know, emotion hit me like a truck, and I was not expecting it. Going back through these photos, and I'll continue more on this as we get to them, but there were a lot of feelings I had that I don't think I should have had. And it's just crazy to me. So I'm going to put the photos up here somewhere in this area. Yeah. So as a kid, I was adorable. If you don't think that's adorable, you get the hell out right now. All right, that is a cute ass baby. That's when I peaked. I unfortunately peaked at 1. It's a horrible age to peak at. Really, probably the worst. Probably the worst. It was all downhill from there. But I was a cute kid, and I was a fairly normal sized child up until probably about middle school. And if we can just take a minute to pay respects to that beautiful blonde mane that is no longer with us, it's a damn shame. But we're focusing on what I've gained, not what I've lost. We'll save that for another time. So I was a normal kid. I had a very good childhood. Like, childhood was awesome. I was, a normal sized kid. And then middle school hit and I got a little chubby, but nothing crazy. I had this period where I would wear these denim like button-up shirts, but I cut the sleeves off, so I'd wear a t-shirt underneath them. Quite possibly the worst look. And I had 2 of these vests, we'll call them, and I would alternate throughout the week. So even though the t-shirt would change, the vests would stay the same. And it was just what I was comfortable with, because the denim was like thick enough that it didn't feel like my boobs were showing through. And I, for some reason, thought it was a good look. And I remember my dad coming up to me one day, and he's like, "Hey, do you have anything else to wear? Like, you should wear something different to school." And my dad is like, flannel, doesn't give a shit at all. So for him to say, wear something different, like, that should have triggered something in my head that, dude, you're doing this all wrong. But it didn't, and I continued. It was a whole year that I wore those. So anyways, that's what that looks like. But yeah, I was chubby through middle school. Nothing crazy. A little bit of pudge, a little bit of boobs. And high school is around where I started packing on more weight. Hormones, puberty, eating worse, just school in general probably added to some of it. But I was, even though I was fat, I wasn't like morbidly obese. I never got huge. So I, yeah, was a chubby most of school. And then in the senior year, I decided, hey, you know what would be awesome? Let's dye your hair a horrible color so you stand out more, even though you hate people and you don't want to talk to them. Let's give some reason for people to look at you because attention's definitely what you're looking for. So I dyed my hair. And when I dyed my hair, I left it in for way too long. And I want to believe that's kind of the reason I lost my hair. I know it's not, but there's like a 5% part of me that's like, that's what you did it to yourself. Wasn't anything, wasn't bad genetics, wasn't anything else. You did this, you fried your hair. But again, we're not focusing on what I lost, we're focusing on what I gained. So outside of school, once I graduated, I was still packing on a little bit of weight. I was in a band, it was cool. I got exercise through that, but I was still packing on some weight. Nothing crazy, but I was definitely fat. I mean, we went from chubby to fat. No doubt about that. And right a little bit after I graduated, I moved to a city that was like 40 miles away from where I grew up. I moved in with a couple of buddies and I got a job at a gym. Now, I didn't work out at that gym all too much, but it was a couple miles away, and at that time in my life, I didn't have a license or a car. So, on most of the days where I couldn't take public transit because it's Alaska, it doesn't run a lot of the time, I walked. And I actually enjoyed those walks a lot. So I'd walk a couple miles to work, walk while I was in work the whole day, and then walk home. So I was getting a ton of mileage on the legs, and that was good. And I actually lost weight, and I was in decent shape, all things considered. I was still pudgy. I've never not been pudgy, chubby, pudgy, whatever you want to call it. But I've like fluctuated between fat, chubby to now morbidly obese. So in my early 20s, doing these jobs, I would lose some weight, gain some weight, lose some weight, lose some hair, gain some weight, and everything was just kind of fine. But the reason that it hit me so hard going through these photos is like these photos that, have been on the screen as of, just recently. I remember viewing myself so poorly. I know, like, no girl would ever want me. Like, you're not worthy of love. You're fat. You're disgusting. Like, look at you, dude. You've always been fat and gross. And I'm looking at these photos, and compared to now, I'm like, my God, like, there's kind of a good looking guy there. Like, I'm not super fat. I'm kind of like in decent shape. And I remember back then feeling so bad about myself. And it just doesn't feel justified. And all I could think about was how many opportunities I wasted and just how I lived my life back then based upon how I felt. And, anyways, that just hit me. And yeah, I wasn't expecting that. That was something. Um, so I was pretty much fat, fat to chubby, chubby to fat, up until about 28. And I had some stuff happen with my family. My mom went through some stuff that was some heavy stuff in my life. I got chicken pox at 28, and I don't have the photo. My God, I wish I had the photo. It looks like I got shot in the face with a shotgun. Every chicken pox you couldn't get was on my face. My body was completely clear. There were like 1,000 just pox on my face. I went to urgent care and I approached like the window and I said, I need to check myself in. And the lady actually recoiled. Like, she actually went like that. And she's like, "Are you sure it's chicken pox?" But, anyways, I got chicken pox around that time. Some stuff happened with my family. And I guess that's the moment that I can pinpoint where I started to tack on more weight. I tacked on weight, tacked on weight, tacked on weight until a couple years ago, maybe 2 years ago. I was 325 and I'm 5'9", probably 5'8" now, with everything just kind of crushing itself. I'll probably be 5'4" by the time this journey's over. But yeah, so I'm 5'9" and 325, which I think my ideal weight for that height is 170-ish. So close to double what I should be. And I maintained that for a while, eating horribly. I was eating fast food like every day, and sitting at desk jobs, not moving hardly at all. And up until about 4 months ago, that was where I was. That was my weight and my lifestyle. And about 2 months ago, I, over the course of like a month, packed on 25 pounds. I don't know how. I don't remember seeing any kind of change in like my diet or my lack of movement, but the highest I ever tracked myself was, I think it was 349.5, 350. And that's a scary, scary weight. And that's roughly around where I am now. I don't know why I've let myself get this way and stay this way, but that's my weight, and that's me being fat. Like I said, everybody knows the basic things you need to do to lose weight. So why did I let myself get there? I'm not too sure. Just to be open with you guys, I am seeing someone about my mental health, and I'm going to better that and better my physical health at the same time, in tandem, and yeah, just improve in all ways that I can. So I don't know why I let myself get this fat, but all I can do now is change it. One thing I do want to say, if there's anyone watching who's not fat, who you watch 600-pound Life, or you're walking down the street and you see fat people and you're like, my God, how'd you let yourself get that fat? Up until recently, and I mean recently, because like the past month my knee has been hurting. Carrying this much weight around has finally started to hurt my knee. And the fact that I can't like move my arm back, I don't know what that is. Outside of those two things, I have felt my normal. So if I don't look at myself much and I just exist, I feel, to me, what's normal. So I don't feel nearly as fat as I am. And I said, I don't look at myself all that much, but like taking photos for that first thumbnail, taking videos, for before and after things, I'm astounded at how fat I am. I don't feel that fat. Not even close. So, not saying it hasn't been a pressing issue and that I haven't had to lose weight for a long time, but I don't feel like, I'm 2 years from being wheelchair bound, even though I might be. I don't feel like I'm 5 years from being bedridden, even though I might be. I feel as normal as I've ever really felt. So I guess that's why I haven't really done enough to change yet, to get myself to a healthy point. I know I've been fat, I know I've been obese, but I could still move around. I could still, do what I needed to do. But I am going to get into the best shape of my life before I'm 40. There's no way in hell that I'm not letting that happen. So on Saturday, I'm going to do a weigh-in video. That's going to be the first initial, what I weigh and where we're going. And I do apologize because there will be either photos or a video of me with not a lot on. Spoilers, it ain't pretty, but it has to happen to show progress for myself. So I do appreciate you guys watching this video and letting me kind of vent and explain, I don't know, my journey of fatness, where I've been and where I'm going. I appreciate all the support that you guys give, and if you do want to follow along, see the success, because it will be a success, feel free to hit subscribe and hit the bell notification, and I will see you guys in a couple days.